Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. It is 6:29 on this Wednesday. It's July the 24th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News this morning. Well, yesterday it started off cloudy and ended just gorgeous. It was a great evening to grill. I knew I fired mine up, put some steaks on. Today, you're going to see the same. Let's bring in Kelly McShane to get a breakdown of just what we should expect on your hump day. Kelly, good morning.
Good morning, Will. We are expecting plenty of sunshine, but we're starting off a little bit on the chilly side. I can't believe I'm saying that in July, but we are in the 50s right now. You can go ahead and see that on our current temperatures. 55 in Middlesboro, 58 in Hazard. Prestonsburg, you're at 57 degrees this morning. Definitely a chilly start. You might want to grab a jacket before you leave. And because of those clear skies that we're seeing, that fog is settling into the mountains, especially into the Cumberland Valley region. So be mindful of that. Be careful out on the roadways. And for your travel forecast, we're looking at a yellow car because of that patchy fog and a little bit of a cool start. So once again, just be careful on the roads this morning because you could run into that patchy fog. But then by the time we get to this afternoon, we will have abundant sunshine and it will be here to stay for the next several days. But I'll let you know when we have the next rain chance in just a little bit, Will.
All right, Kelly, we'll be back with you. Thank you. Well, Robert Mueller will be testifying before a pair of congressional committees later today about his investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. Our chief national political analyst, Greta Van Susteren, has more.
The wait is over. Former special counsel Robert Mueller will testify before Congress on Wednesday. He faces questions from lawmakers on the House Judiciary and Intelligence Committees about Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election.
It found instances of the president instructing people to lie to investigators and to lie to the American people. And the American people need to hear this from Mueller.
Mueller says he plans to stick to the script and will not give any information beyond the report. Republicans say this investigation has gone on long enough.
Director Mueller himself has said that his report is his testimony that ought to be respected and that ought to be accepted.
Although people from all over the country will be watching Mueller's highly anticipated testimony, there is one person who will not be glued to the TV, or so he says.
I'm not going to be watching Mueller because you can't take all those bites out of the apple.
Republicans are downplaying this hearing, saying the public will not learn anything new. Democrats say something else, that it is vital to hear Mueller get questioned about his report. Bottom line, as Mueller sticks to his report, expect the questions from both Democrats and Republicans to sound more like speeches than questions.
Coming in September, Greta Van Susteren will provide in-depth analysis on WYMT every Sunday. Full Court Press with Greta Van Susteren shines a spotlight on the local impact of national politics. The show premieres Sunday, September 8th. Well, the 9/11 Victims Compensation Fund bill is heading to President Trump's desk after the U.S. Senate passed it with a vote of 97-2. The measure will cover those suffering from 9/11 related illnesses for the next 70 years. 200 firefighters have died since 9/11 from health complications related to the recovery and cleanup effort. The House passed the bill earlier this month, but the Senate vote was delayed after Kentucky Senator Rand Paul voiced some concerns.
Every bit of new spending, it doesn't matter whether it's a good cause, bad cause, or in-between cause. We need to not keep adding to the debt.
A White House official tells CBS News that several 9/11 first responders have been invited to attend Friday's bill signing. A new Trump administration proposal could mean millions of people will lose their food stamps. Under current law, most states automatically make people eligible for food stamps if they meet requirements under another federal program called TANF, or Temporary Assistance for Needy Families. But under the proposal, income and assets would be reviewed to qualify for food stamps. The Agriculture Department expects the new rules would cut more than 3 million people from SNAP benefits.
This proposal is lose-lose. It makes it harder for families to leave poverty and leave hunger while making sure that millions of Americans, including hundreds of thousands of American school kids, will go without food.
Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue defended the rule change, saying in a statement, quote, "For too long, this loophole has been used to effectively bypass important eligibility guidelines. The proposed change is open to public comment for 60 days. About 7.5 million Americans rely on insulin to stay alive. That is according to the American Diabetes Association. But across the country, many struggle to afford the life-saving drug. The high cost for insulin has even driven some to head to Canada to find a cheaper price. Here in Kentucky, one group is pushing for lower prices. Kristen Kennedy explains why change is needed for their survival.
Some people in Lexington are joining a nationwide cry to lower the cost of insulin. They met Monday night to talk strategy and, for some, survival.
I've been an airline employee laid off. I've moved in with my parents. I've borrowed money. And I've done a lot of things just to afford the one thing I need to survive, and that's insulin.
Angela Lautner leads the Insulin for All charge in Kentucky, Ohio, and Indiana. She's lived with type 1 diabetes for 19 years.
There's not been any change to this insulin. It went to market at about $25 in 1996, and now the list price is about $275.
Those with diabetes aren't the only ones fighting for a lower price.
A lot of people blame the pharmaceuticals, but there's some middlemen in there that I think are the real problem.
Larry Smith fights for his daughter. She has type 1 diabetes. Smith blames pharmacy benefit managers for the high prices. He wants their compensation limited.
Go to your congressman, go to your senators, and have them do something about this.
Right now, there is a bipartisan effort in the U.S. Senate to roll back insulin price hikes. This Kentucky group believes if enough people reach out to their senators, this bill could pass. Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Senator Gene Sheehan of New Hampshire introduced a bill called the Insulin Price Reduction Act. 3 other senators have already said they are backing the bill. Well, Governor Bevin's pension relief proposal is heading for a vote on the Senate floor this morning. The bill passed a Senate committee earlier this week. If approved, it would freeze pension contribution rates for quasi-governmental agencies at 49% for a year. The agencies would then have a choice to stay in the system or pay their way out in a lump sum or installments. Senate Majority Leader Damon Thayer says it appears there are enough votes to pass the bill today. It then goes on to Governor Bevin for his signature. Well, the groundwork to bring hundreds of jobs to our region was approved yesterday. Yesterday, the Perry County Fiscal Court approved a resolution to allow the county to go into negotiations with a possible business. If the company does come, they would bring between 400 and 600 jobs to the county. The company would also be housed in the Coalfields Industrial Park.
It's another exciting day. We don't have them yet, but we're at the table talking with them, and that's what the meeting was about today.
If the company does come, the jobs there would be living wage jobs. Many of them would allow for people to work right out of high school. Well, black jewel miners are still waiting on their paychecks, though many are continuing to reach out and help support their families. Time and time again, the miners have told us they just want to go back to work. Officials in Harlan County say a company is bringing opportunities to make that hope a reality. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds talks to Judge Executive Dan Mosley about what the offer could mean for the miners.
Black jewel miners have been out of work for weeks, and for many, that's the only thing on their mind.
Well, I've been mining for 11 years. Even when I was in high school, I had a job. So now I don't know really what to do or where to turn to or where to go. I just want to go back to work.
In a fiscal court meeting Tuesday morning, Judge Executive Dan Mosley announced that hope might soon be a reality for several of those miners.
There will be a job fair in this room on August 1st. There will be a company that will be here that is looking to hire people in an area that is about 2.5 hours from Harlan County.
Mosley says in that job, workers would be working on a highway expansion type of project that will last around 4 years.
They're definitely looking to hire several folks and laborers, equipment operators, that type of thing.
Mosley says he just hopes this can help many of them get back to work.
This is just the first of many things that we're going to continue to do to provide services to these folks so that they know what options are out there available for them and their families.
Looking like a step in the right direction. In Harlan County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, Mosley says he will release all of the details about the company and job fair as soon as he gets permission from the company who is doing the hiring. Well, it's 6:39. Let's send it on over to Kelly for a breakdown of what to expect on this hump day. Kelly?
Well, we can expect those cool temperatures as we step out the door this morning. We're still looking at those temperatures into the 50s, 54 in Jonesville. London, you're at 55 degrees this morning. Ashland, you are at 57. So definitely feeling refreshing and a little bit chilly out there. But satellite and radar, really not too much to talk about. And that's why those temperatures are a little bit on the chilly side. And that's why we have a little bit of fog developing. So just be careful on the roadways this morning. But for today, we are looking sunny for the afternoon. So be sure to grab the sunglasses, and if you do spend time outside, be sure to wear sunscreen. Those temperatures going to be at a comfortable 78 degrees this afternoon with low dew points. Going to be a perfect day to get outside. Will?
All righty, Kelly, thank you. It's 6:39. When we come back, Kelly will have another check of your weather, and later on we'll see what's trending. Thank you for joining us right here on Mountain News this morning.
The bus stop.